Howdy there, YouTubers. This is Roger Dodger 49er. What you're looking at there is a 2013 Bmw R1200 Rt motorcycle. One of the finest motorcycles ever made, in my opinion. What makes a motorcycle? Well, you got to start with the engine. That's a Boxster engine. They've been putting those in BMWs for 90 years. It's a horizontally opposed twin. Now you might think, well, what makes that so special? I've seen them in airplanes or something like that in an airplane. What makes that engine special? It's a twin. It's just a twin, isn't it? Well, it is, but you ever seen somebody walk on a tightrope? They have a balance bar that stretches out. Well, those two jugs in that engine, they focus like a balance bar because they're sticking out. And if you look, they're low. And so you've got balance and your weight is low. That makes for insane handling. It really does. Braking systems like no other I've ever. It stops on a dime. The ABS works perfect. Let's look at this tail lever suspension. Okay, so you have a spring down there. That's your tail lever. It's connected to the frame, and then it's connected to an arm. The arm's connected to the fork tubes. I remember when somebody first told me about the tail lever suspension, I thought it was a gimmick. I'll tell you what, go around a corner on one of these bikes. There's hardly any counter steering. You could counter steer with your pinky. You don't counter steer. Let's talk about some other things about this bike. The instrument panel is just amazing. You got your heated grips, heated seat. The instrument panel turns red at night. You just no wind whatsoever. You don't get wind. Shaft driven, 6 gears. Easy to work on. Easy. I've done all of the maintenance on this bike. You do not have to take it in. If you've got any kind of mechanical acumen and a Torx wrench and a set of Torx, you can do everything on this bike. I've done check the valves, I've done all the fluids, changed the filter, changed the brakes, removed the rear wheel. It's like 5 Torx bolts. It's just simple. Everything about this bike is really nice. Now, there is one thing, every bike has its weak spots. I'm going to share some of the weak spots with you. See that little 90-year gold silver dollar thing? That has a rubber gasket around it. It comes out, you pop it out, but it leaked a little bit and it got a little bit of rust down there on my steering bolt, my steering nut. The other thing is this bag. It works perfect. They all work perfect. You pop that open, it falls open. But you see that little thing there? This rubber band, and then it's got a plastic, and it's got a little knob that fits in there. For whatever reason, that comes off sometimes before I open it. So when I let it down, if you don't have that string on there, it fall and hit the ground. But if you're careful, you don't have to worry about it, which I'm really not that careful on that kind of stuff, because I keep my helmet in that side, and it does that sometimes. The drive shaft. The drive shaft on these are a little different than Japanese bikes. They make a little noise, and the noise is when you take the pressure when you remove the pressure on the drive shaft, because when you pull in the clutch, it makes a sound. It's, it was disconcerting to me. I checked it out, talked to several guys, talked to a mechanic, we took it to the BMW dealer. I said, it's nothing. And, but, my Jap bikes never made that noise. The key is that it doesn't make noise when there's pressure on it. Now, if your drive shaft's making noise when there's pressure on it, that means you got a problem. But this is when the pressure is off of it, and it's a little noise, it's a little slack, The other thing that is these things on both sides here. that makes a little bit of a noise, a wind noise. It's almost a little bit like a whistle, but I got used to it. You got your oil cooler in the front. You know, I've owned quite a few bikes in my time, 45 years of riding. My favorite three was an 83 GPZ 750, a 98 Honda Blackbird, and a 2004 FJR 1300. I said I'd never get rid of that FJR. I just loved it so much, but this bike exceeds them all by quite a ways. It's just an amazing motorcycle. That's why I say it's one of the best bikes ever made. And it's just powerful. 70-mile-an-hour roll on. It's got all kinds of power, and it's light, nimble, brakes. You can ride it all day. I just ride it all the time. Just really an amazing bike. So this is Roger Dodger signing out. You guys have a good one.